It's a lovely day. Hey, Carl Browne here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and it is a lovely day, and I really am taking time out to say yes, it is a lovely day. It's sunny, it's beautiful, and also it's because we're looking at things positively. Um, Doing this outside because I felt that I need to. First of all, how have you been coping with social distancing? The world is in a crisis. The world has gone into a pandemic mode. We don't even know where we're going. But you know what? We have to stay focused. We have to be positive. And one of the things I want to say here is that it's not been easy. Not been easy for any of us around the world. Every country has its own way of dealing with the situation, the lockdowns. But you know, in the end of the day, we have to pull through. We have to pull through. What has 2020 brought to us? A lot of disasters. But at the same time, we must also look positively at how we can move ahead, how we can take this to another level. Social distancing has not been easy, it's changing our lives, but one of the good things about it is that it also creates our minds. It gives us the time where we can be creative, where we can do things that we've never done before. It reaches out to other people, whereby we can reach out and share that love. It brings us together. So in a sense, there's good and there's bad, but this is the way it is. I know it's not been easy sitting at home. Those of you who cannot go to work from time to time, seeing a city close down. Some countries take different ways or apply different methods of shutting down and keeping social distancing. But here in the UK, where I am now, it's very hard. Unable to see the family because you can't go to see the family. You have to stay away completely, and it's very stressful. But at the same time, I'm being creative, and by communicating with you is one of the good things I can do about that. And one of the things I know social media has been doing is bombarding. You go on your WhatsApp, you go on your YouTubes, and you see all these things coming through and coming up about the virus, and it really worries you a bit. But it doesn't mean that you have to isolate and take on the negatives. What I've done is isolate, detract it, throw it away. I don't want it. I do look, but at the end of the day, I still have got to go on. Life has to go on. So it's important that we continue with our lives and don't take negatives. Let us be an opening door for you to create, to look at something different. Our lives will never be the same after this. Our lives will be totally changed. The way we look at people, the way we view people's ideas, the way we communicate with each other, it will change. But what can we do? This is a changing time. We're moving into a different century, and we are in the 21st century, where everything right now is done by computers. And so you've been eating, and we've all been sort of doing things at home, and we eating. Of course, we have to exercise, which is important. One of the things I want to look at here is that you have got to make sure that you detox. Detoxifying is very important, because you're putting on lots of things we're eating, lots of the types of foods we eat, of course. And I think back home in Guyana, you're very fortunate. You've got natural foods where do not rely on the canned foods and the processed foods. They're not really good for you. I don't do much here. I do lots of local foods. In the sense, I go to the markets and I get the greens. Use your greens. Use what is natural. Even though it might have a bit of fertilizer, but use your natural foods. It's important. And detox. And when I say detox, I mean you have got to let your system, your blood be cleaned. Free your system from toxic waste that comes in. I tend to do that. And one of the good things I use, they're herbs. I love my herbs. And one of the things I discovered is cascara. Look at that. This is cascara. And the reason why, when I went to Guyana, every time I go to Guyana, I make sure I have only 5-6 bottles if I could get it. And it does well. It's bitter. Because at the time when growing up, we have castor oil, which is one of the funny thing about castor oil. Castor oil, at home we drink it. Your granny, your aunts, or whatever, family members, mother, father, you have a washout every Sunday. And here, when I went looking for castor oil, funny thing about it, castor oil here it's only used for external uses. They never know that it can be consumed. So that's one of the things we brought with us, you know. We go back to roots, we know. And I said to them, I went to say to the chemist, look here, can I have some castor oil? And he said, no, it's only for external uses. Yes, it is, fine. But, you know, it's for internal uses. No, it's only for external uses. So it just goes to show. We grew up on the natural side of things. So let's not discard what we know, what we used to having. Let us stay in tune with our whole metabolism, our roots, our herbs. Let's stay with that. Right now there's a crave, everybody's saying at the same time. There's so much in my head I want to talk about, and I will just try to reach out. There's the big thing right now about a vaccine. Everybody wants, hoping for a vaccine. Yes, a vaccine will come for this, but in the meantime, we do not have to depend on a vaccine. We need to look after ourselves, look at our vitamin C's, build our immune system, stay and keep in line with what has to be done, and go through this. If I can do it, you can do it. So let's work together in harmony with nature's way, and at the same time, well, if there's a vaccine to be, let's look at that. But for me right now, I'm only doing the things that I grew up with in Guyana. The things my grandmother taught me. Your herbs, drink your herbal teas, detoxify yourself, keep safe, and let's keep safe, and things will be okay. Forget about all the chemicalized foods, the canned foods and this. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying your KFCs or whatever have you not. I'm saying your burgers. I'm not saying no, but limit, watch what you eat, and also make sure that your body is well taken care of and protected. So in the meantime, keep sane, keep safe, because again here we are in such a position where we are locked in. You cannot really go out unless you have to, it's necessary. If you're traveling, you have to, it's necessary. But you cannot just leave and go, stand up on the streets, have a lime, go and have it. You cannot do it. It's against, because they need to get this thing to the peak and bring it down, so we can get back. And would our lives be the same again? I don't know. We will be looking at people differently. We will be looking at each other differently. We will be trying to, it's so much. These viruses are going to come again, whatever. It's a lifetime. But in the meantime, let's not think negatively. Let's think positively, that we will encounter this. We will rise. Guyana, the world, we will rise and be above this again. So to every one of you, each and every one of you, I'd like to say thank you for listening. Thank you for looking. Feel free to like and subscribe. Be positive in whatever you do, and let's lift each other up. Let's rise and be as positive as we should be and always will be for the future. Carl Browne saying here, it was a pleasure being with you.